What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy G Sneaks. And today we ain't reviewing those shoes. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it'd be fun to do something a little more money based. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to my new seminar, how to resell shoes. You know what I'm saying? And in this video, I'm gonna give y'all. Well, it's not just a video. It's actually gonna be like a series. So it's gonna be multiple parts. This is part one. So in part one, I'm gonna give you like the first structured basis to the game. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to discuss some key bulletins that's going to basically set up your whole structure on how to resell shoes. You know what I'm saying? Because we here for the money. You know what I'm saying? If you resell shoes, you don't do it hobby. You know what I'm saying? You do it for the money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to teach you how to maximize your profits. I'm going to teach you how to, you know what I'm saying, just get the most you can get out of reselling shoes. And first, let me introduce myself. My name is Gavin Harlan. I'm going to tell you why I'm qualified to even be doing this webinar. My name is Gavin Harlan, a.k.a. G Sneaks. Now, the G Sneaks name came from me doing YouTube reviews on sneakers when I was back just collecting. And that was back, I think I started that back in like 2012. And it became very popular and everything, and that's how the G Sneaks brand and everything got developed. But now, ever since 2015, I've been reselling. So I went from collecting to reselling, you know what I'm saying? So I got a very brass knowledge for both sides. So I've been reselling for about, 5 years now, blah, 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 blah. And I've opened as you guys know, if you know me already, I opened my own sneaker boutique. That's what we're standing there right now. I opened my own sneaker boutique that I resell out of. So here in the state of Michigan. So yes, in the state of Michigan, I'm one of the biggest resellers in the state of Michigan. Yes, I'm that good. So I'm gonna give you some key bulletin points. I'm gonna give you some game. I'm gonna give you some strategies that I use to resell shoes for a living. All right, guys. Now that we're done with the introduction and everything, let's get into it. So when you start any business, hustle, anything that involves transactions back and forth, blah 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 blah, the first thing that you want to understand, and the first thing you want to study, the first thing you want to mastermize is question number one: how do I get paid? That's the first thing you want to know. If you can have anything, all the product in the world, but if you don't know how to get the money out of it, it's worthless. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing you want to understand. How do I get paid? So we're going to take our green marker and we're going to write bullet number one. How, and yes, I'm left-handed, do I get paid? Let's put two. So if you can see that, how do I get paid? I hope you can see that. So how do I get paid? Now, reselling shoes, it involves two sides of the money. So what I mean by that, two sides of the money, how you doing sales? Are you doing internet-based sales or are you doing street? We call internet, we call street. So we're going to do the bulletin, we're going to do internet, and then we're going to do street. Now, internet, what your internet sales are, that consists of your GOAT, StockX, that type. So we're going to go StockX, GOAT. And then street is going to be, that's going to be your interaction with a real person. That's going to be your I guess you can call it old-fashioned way. That's going to be you talking to a person, getting a price point, agreeing on a price point, and then exchanging the merchandise with the money. So that's going to be your client base, customer client base. Customer client. Okay, now when you look at that, when you look at both sides, now we're going to take strategies and we're going to apply them to both sides, because the key factor when dealing with a lot of shoes is when you obtain it. When you obtain it. So that's going to be point number two. When do I have the shoe? So when do I have the shoe? Because companies like StockX, well, I ain't going to say companies, but we're going to say StockX. That's one of that is the, I'm going to put it like, StockX has become the blueprint for price point on sneakers. Okay, like I was saying, StockX has become the blueprint for price point on sneakers. And the reason why you even want to go by that is because 9 times out of 10, your customer is going to go by that. Your customer is looking at the same things that you're looking at. When you're dealing with shoes, you interact in blog sites, reviews, YouTube reviews, because you want to see what the shoe look like. You want to see if you really want it. If you want to, how's the quality on it? What's the price point on it? So since your customer will be looking at that, you need to be studying that. So what StockX has done. So in the past, a shoe used to be a straight line. So we're gonna draw a straight line. Before StockX, the shoe was a straight line, which means whenever you had the shoe, the starting point, the middle point, and the end was always the same price, because there was nothing to tell nobody different. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was no website or anything saying, hey, how much the shoe is worth. So whenever you obtained the shoe, did you have it before release date, on release date, after release date, they was always the same price point. But what StockX did, StockX gave the shoe what you call a timeline. A timeline, now, the timeline consists of the same things I just said: before release date, on release date, and after. So before the shoe comes out, the day the shoes drop, because every shoe besides Jordan 1 men's have release date, and then after the shoe comes out. Now, those three during the timeline, there's a different price point for each time on the timeline. Before it comes out, and that's what you call a pattern. So before the shoe drops, it's a high price. 99% of the time, the shoe is going to be worth more before it comes out to actual release date. It just always seems the pattern of the shoe, closer and closer release date, the price drops. Now, a couple weeks before it comes out, it be sky high. And then when the shoe is about to drop, it gets closer and closer to that retail price. And then after it comes out, it goes back up. So that's what you call, on this side of it, is that what you call growth. So once the shoe has come out, and then it starts its pattern on going further and further and further away from the release date, that's what you call growth. So where do you want to make your price point? Some resellers, they always get their shoes before they come out. They maximize their dollar on that side, but they gotta pay more. Some people have a plug, don't plug, and that's another video. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to jump the gun. That's another video then when we start discussing plugs and everything like that. So let's just stick to today. You got your timeline, starting point, middle point, end point. Before release, during release, after release. Now, when it comes to StockX, like I just said, you apply those to both sides. So when you got your internet side, if you got the shoe before StockX is what it is. You just package that shoe up, send it off. Now with StockX and GOAT, they have a price point. Okay, StockX is buying it at this price, and then they have a listed price. So you can list it at maybe a couple dollars more than what StockX might be offering, and then somebody may or may not accept that bid, and then once it's a bid, you send it off. You get a payment in your bank account 3 to 5 days later during this timeline. So do you have it before release date, it might be worth this much. When you have it on release date, it might be worth that much. And then after release date, same thing. Now, it's a little different when you step to the street side. When you step to the street side, it kind of, it's a little the same, but it's a little different because it involves different variables. Now, before release date, if you don't have a release date, you do what you call pre-order, okay? So pre-order, 9 times out of 10, pre-order, you got your client base, you've been selling shoes for a minute, you done built up a clientele. Pre-order allows you, okay, hey, the shoe's coming out, I want to get it. How much will you be charging whenever you get the shoe? I'm charging this point, okay? Customer agrees to the pre-order, they send you the payment, blah, 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 blah. When you get a shoe, you send it off. That's anywhere up and down before the shoe before after release. That's anywhere between, you got it before the shoe, sometimes you can get it before the release date, sometimes you get it on release day, most of the time you get it on release day, but a pre-order is always the first half of the pattern, okay? And then you got your second half of the pattern, which would be, hey, I have the shoe now, I posted it somewhere, somebody knows I got it, hey, I get a phone call, or somebody, hey, you got this shoe, blah, 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 yeah, okay, what's the price point? We agree on the price, I get it sold. Okay, so that's the second half. So the first half is usually a pre-order, the second half, okay, I got it now, how much you selling it for? Okay, so that's how a timeline incorporates with the two sides of sale. Boom, boom, internet and street. Okay, we're gonna switch to the red market now. Now, I'm giving you these things, how you gonna get it sold, internet, street, the timeline, the pattern. I'm giving you these things because you don't wanna sit on the merchandise. To me personally, I'm not a fan of sitting on merchandise because you're subject to this pattern when you're sitting on these shoes, you're subject to the pattern. No shoe, no longer, since you got the implement of StockX, no shoe has that straight line effect anymore. Every shoe has a pattern now. You know what I'm saying? So it might go up, it might go down. Anything after release date, it might go up. See the red? It might go up, it might go down. So sitting on a shoe doesn't always mean that's a good thing. And if you're a person like me that always studying numbers, blah, 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 when you see them resellers and they got a mountain of shoes, they got stacked up, blah, 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 what does that say to somebody like me? Because you get in this game, and this is not a cheap game to get into, you know what I'm saying? Because each one of these units costs. Now, what's the average price of a sneaker? 150 to, hey, 350. The Fear Gods just came out, that's 350 plus tax. So retail prices, they jump. They go from low end to high. It's all, you know what I'm saying, they all over the place. So when you see these shoes stacked up, you count the boxes. $100 a shoe, 10 boxes, $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So when a person like me see them all stacked up, hey, I see an instant debt. Instant debt. Because a reseller, you have to go out, you have to spend all this money to get all these shoes. Now you got to get them sold. You know what I'm saying? So holding on to them doesn't always play in someone like my favor, because I'm not in the fan or in the business of occurring debt. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. So I'm in the business of moving units. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's levels to the resale. So when I say moving units, I mean some people move 10 shoes a month. Some people move 50 shoes a month. And then you got big dogs, 100 plus units a month. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you get your consistency. Number one key to this game is consistency. If you move 100 plus shoes a month, you want to be consistent on that. You want to move every month 100 plus shoes a month, because that's when you get your profits. That's when you get your bills paid. Now, I ain't saying you have to move that much, but I'm just saying consistency. If you move 50 a month, hey, every month I move 50. Every month I move 10. You're going to get your money from that, and you do it as you please. So that's what I mean by levels. Like I was saying, consistency. Consistency going to be your best friend in this game. You know what I'm saying? And consistency goes back to the same person. Who am I selling to? How do I can have 1 million shoes, but if I have nobody to sell them to, they're worthless. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier. So consistency is going to be your best friend. You get the ways that you're going to know how you're going to get it sold. Now, I'm going to touch on another point, and then we might wrap the video up here, because, you know what I'm saying, we're giving you one, two, I'm going to give you a third. You got to understand which side is the better side for this specific shoe sale. So, deciding where to sell. So that's going to be our third and final point for today's video. We got how do I get paid, when do I obtain the shoe, and deciding where to sell it. Okay? So when I say deciding where to sell it, every shoe has a different resale value. No shoe has the same resale value. It's similar, but it's never the same. So you got to decide, where do I get the most dollar from? Sometimes there's going to be a side where the internet is going to give you the best profit. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't expect a lot of your clientele, whatever your client base is, you can't expect them to pay that price. So you got to decide, you know what? I'm going to just move this shoe on the internet side because I'm going to get more profit. Or the internet might say, hey, this shoe is only worth so much, but you might have a customer willing to pay you more. So you got to decide which side I'm going to sell this shoe on. You know what I'm saying? You got to know which is the more profitable side. Now, I'm going to give you an example. One second. Okay, so you know this is a shoe store, so I went and grabbed a couple retros off the wall, and I'm going to give you an example of which is the better side. Okay, so we're going to start with the Hyper Royal Retro 1. Now, this is an example of either or. As of right now, because of the timeline. So, as of right now, when this shoe was about to come out on the pattern, before release date, it was at a high point. Come release date, it dropped to closest to retail possible. So it dropped, and now, after release date, it's done crept back up. So either side is good for you now that the time is after release date. So you can go, hey, $250 around, okay, hey, I can get this sold on either side for around $250-ish, blah, 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 depending on the size, okay? Now, one of my favorite releases from this year is the Retro 1 UNC to Chicago, the women's version. Now, this is a shoe where the customer side has always been the best side. This shoe has no real value as far as on the internet, which is very shocking because of the colorway, the quality. You took two OG colorways and you have joined them together, and it's an absolute beautiful shoe. The quality on this shoe is amazing. We done seen cheaper, less quality shoes sell for way more than this one. I'm a big fan of this shoe. Now on the internet side, this shoe has pretty much no value. But on the customer side, this shoe has a lot of value because of the limited. It was limited. It's not that many pairs out there. It's a women's shoe, so therefore the size is a size 1.5 sizes off. You know what I'm saying? When I give you an example about it, I wear a size 10. So in women's, I wear 11.5. So not every man can even wear this shoe. You know what I'm saying? Because of whatever size, like you wear a size 13, 14. This shoe is, is slim to none. You're not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Or you're going to pay a high premium for, that size, or even if it's even available where you at. So this shoe has always had a better street side than an internet side. So you want to have a client customer base when you go to sell this one. And then this one, another one. It's another shoe, has no internet presence at all. Even though this shoe came out during the corona, the corona epidemic, you couldn't even get this shoe in person at all. It had to be bought online. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, you bought this shoe online. And online it has no resale. I think at this point it's under retail. So if you went to sell this shoe on one of these websites, StockX or Go, you're going to get under retail. But you got a client base. That's when you go back to economics 101, supply and demand. So if he couldn't get it in store, or if he couldn't get it, he don't have a bank account or credit card to get it online, and he wants this shoe, okay, now you have it, he wants it, you come up with a price. You know what I'm saying? And of course he doesn't expect to get it for what it costs in the store. So there's going to be some type of tax that you put on it for him to get it. So that's what I mean by decide where to sell the shoes. Now, in closing, we're going to review a little bit, you know what I'm saying? All right, guys, like I said, in closing, let's tie all this back together. Let's go review over what we learned. Number one, how do I get paid? Anytime you got a product, anytime you want to sell something, anytime you want to get the value out of it, before even obtaining it, you want to understand, how am I going to get paid from it? So when you get it, it's an easy transaction. You get it, boom, out the door, I got the money. Okay. Second of all, when do I have the shoe? Second of all, these are all key points of what we learned here today in part one on how do I resell shoes. When do I have the shoe? So like I said, companies like StockX, they have institutionalized the hustle, the business, the game, the streets, whatever. They have institutionalized the sale of the sneaker. They've given it a timeline, a pattern, which is before the release day, on the release day, and after. So that instead of it just being a flat line where, okay, the shoe, I have the shoe and the duration I have the shoe is worth this much, so this is what I want, this is what the client should expect to be sold, or whatever they buy today, they should expect that. No. Now we have a pattern as far as the timeline of the shoe. Before release, on release day, after, the price will fluctuate. It will be high, it will go down, and it go up, except for your one-off. But we want to be consistent in the game, and we want to deal with 99% of most shoes that come out. There's a high point, a low point, and there's another high point, or more low points, depending on what the sneakers is. We brought in some shoes that have those price points on, they fluctuate from release date to after. And then deciding where to sell the shoe. Where am I going to get the most profit for my product? On the internet side or the street side? You got the internet side, which consists of packaging up, sending it off, waiting a couple days for your profits, for your sale money to come back into your account. And then you got the street side. I'm getting the money, I'm selling it to somebody, we've already agreed on the price point up front, blah, 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 blah. 9 times out of 10, he probably pre-order with you, or I have the shoe now after release date. This is how much it's worth, this is how much I'm selling it for. We meeting up, we getting the motherfucking transaction going on, and it's going straight through. So I'm getting paid today, money cash in my pocket today. So that's just, that's just the first key. I honestly believe that's the first key, the first 3 key fundamentals on when you join in this shoe game. You want to get something established as far as getting your money. Yep, these are the first 3 key points that I'm going to bring to you today. Stay tuned for part 2. We're going to be bringing up 3 to 4, a couple more. And honestly, during this series, I want to kind of bring in a couple resellers I know to get their interpretation on how they relate their business, their hustle to my key points. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's different. Everybody doesn't follow these same ones. I'm just giving you mine so you can maximize your dollars based off what I do. So once again, it's your boy G Sneaks. Boom. Thank you for tuning in to the webinar. More videos to come. Appreciate the love. Thank you.